And we'll be giving the scores later on in the contest. I think we might be down to the mini shreds now. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the score for the juniors. It ended up with third place was Eugene Voikin with 45 points. Second was Greg Kadadrin, sorry, with 46 points. And first place for the juniors is Shandy Campus, 47 points, and it comes as no surprise. As I said, his brother's a pro. He won the novice last year, and it looks like it's something in the genes or in the family.
Yeah, he gets out, he rides a lot too, which always helps. And he has a good style and good balance, so hopefully he'll go far.
Now in the mini shreds, which is age 12 and under, we had 6 competitors. We had Kyle Walters, Mike Hefler, Haddon Bartels, Corby Martin, Dylan Madison, and Josh Evin. Oh, I think I said all the names right.
That was Josh Evin's right there. He just did a big air, and he went for it. He unfortunately never landed it, but there's some a no slide, 180, just some more ground maneuvers that are coming in this year. And that was a shifty over the spine.
I notice on some of the more continuous runs, like just the Bunny Hill, the Hummer, or on Yankee Girl, some of the groomed runs, that you see lots of nice surface maneuvers. It's interesting to watch. He lost speed there, so he's going to have trouble getting anything.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit chopped up by this point in the contest, so you had to really stick a line to get to the jumps, and if you kind of lost your balance for a second, it was pretty much over.
After the mini shreds, we'll see the novice and then the adults, and of course with the adults you do see the bigger maneuvers and the more consistent riding. This is the mini shreds here.
Which age group is this again?
This is 12 and under, the mini shreds, and some of them are fairly new to boarding, and some of them have been boarding for a few years now.
Mm-hmm. The biggest difficulty with the 12 and under is that, as you know, they're still growing. Their center of balance shifts a lot, so they have to kind of compensate. So they're doing really good. They have to kind of relearn snowboarding almost every week, practically. So it's good.
Not to mention just having a lot of bravery, because the bump is even bigger the smaller you are.
Yeah.
Now at some point we're going to switch here to the novice, and I'm not sure if we're into the novice or if we're still in the mini shreds. But I'm going to read you the results of the mini shreds. Third place went to Dylan Madison with 30 points. There was a tie for second place, Corby Martin and Mike Hefler, both with 34 points. And first place went to Josh Evin, 37 points. Were those all local boys?
I don't think Josh. I think Josh Evin, who I think I mistakenly, misnamed there. He's on a Sims board. I think he's from Red Mountain, from Rossland, but I'm not quite sure.
But all the others are from Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're going into novice now. Now, the amazing thing about novice division is it means they've been snowboarding only since September of this year, of '93. So that's only a few months, because there was no snow in September or October or November. So we're talking about really snowboarding for less than 2 months, and it's pretty amazing that anybody entered the contest, but we actually had 6 novices show up for this, and they did quite well.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet, though. I think this is still the mini shredders.
Oh, this is still the mini shredder. Now, this is a very smooth style. His feet are a little more together. He looks a little more old school.
Yeah, a little bit. More of a carver's stance. I'm not sure who this is or what division.
He's still being consistent. He's making it down the course.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. I see the judges.
Again, it's the question of, are you going to take the big risk on the first jump, or are you going to take a smaller, or are you going to skip the first jump and go on? There's a lot of decision making to be made in this kind of course. There's a lot of different routes you can go.
Yeah, the way we built the course was to offer a wide selection of lines, is what we call them. we built like a little half pipe hit on the side, or we built the jump as you see some people going off the very first big jump, or you'll see some people going through the little middle and going on to the second jump, and so it offered a lot of different positions for people to do.
And so the selection is obviously a very big part of the judging.
Yeah, the way people pick their lines and the smoothness of them, as I said before, was really, really how we judged.
Now ignore that time and that date, because we're talking about January 7th, 1994 in the Whitewater Jib Bonk Contest. Jib Bonk being a new type of freestyle snowboarding.
Okay, this is definitely the novice.
And they're showing a lot of bravery. I mean, they've been on the snow about 2 months, which is pretty amazing. I'll read off the name of the novices. We had Adam Clark, Gabe Tyler, Marty Very, Ryan Gardiner, Matthew Kiddle, and Brian Semcoff. And they were very, very brave lads, and I think they did quite well. It's hard to believe you can gain this much skill in 2 months. I think they must have a lot of youthful enthusiasm going for them.
Yeah, also a lot of people enter from, say, a skateboarding background where they already have their balance points already, kind of learned, and then they bring it to skateboarding or snowboarding, and they catch on pretty fast.
They do. And it's brave to take that first bump. I'll tell you, it looks very large when you're approaching it. I approached it and I just went right around it once I got close to it.
I'm not sure what class this is, but I think we'll soon find out here.
That was a very good landing. It's hard to believe that was a novice.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was a late backside stiffy he was trying.
Let's read off
backside stiffy.
Okay, I'll read off the novice results anyway. We had a tie for third between Ryan Gardiner and Marty Very. They both had 31 points. And we had a tie for second between Adam Clark and Brian Semcoff. They both had 32 points, so it was very close. And first went to Gabe Tyler with 35 points, so all the novices did quite well. As I mentioned before, we didn't get the women or the old-timer on tape, but we do have the adults. So we're going to be watching the adults division, and you're going to see a little hotter riding now.
I'm not quite sure who this is. I say there's a few from out of town that showed up in the contest.
Well, we had a good turnout with the adults. We had 17 adults. The biggest was the junior, though. We had 21 juniors. 17 adults is a good turnout, and I know some of them were from out of town, and of course quite a few of our hall locals turned out as well. They, as I mentioned before, everyone got 3 runs. We're not seeing all of everybody's runs, but we're seeing just about everybody doing at least 1 run.
Yeah, usually a lot of people have their own little personal styles, so I'm going to try to judge from there who we have. I'm not sure who this is.
He's being very consistent, though. He's making it right through.
Yeah, there's just that was a front side indie grab. Backside, try to do a little grab there, but didn't stick in.
Some of our men's riders were Dan Gray, Jakob Jamen, Jeff Petersen, Al Cameron, Christian Zakir Korn, sorry Christian, Jason Byers, we had Tommy Smith, Tony Hassenbrook. Just interrupt me if you recognize anybody. We had Greg Todds, Joey Turcoat, Jeremy Whitehouse.
That was a really nice air there, really smooth.
We also had Chad Shultz, sorry Chad, Dean Heizel, Shaun Tilling, that's you, Josh Nelson and Phil Robinson, and your brother Dale Tilling.
Ooh.
That's nice, you went from one to the other. We haven't seen too many people do that.
Yeah, you'll notice more in the adult division, they're going to be trying a little bit more riskier things, and they'll be also trying to spin over the gaps. Not quite sure who this is either.
But that was nice. You
that
landed
was
backwards, which we call fakie.
Yeah, that was a late 180. It was a really difficult move. Really nice when it's performed right. Actually, this is me here.
Oh, and you chose, now what was your strategy there of choosing the quarter pipe instead of the big hit?
I'm not quite sure. That was just Josh Nelson. Actually, I showed up kind of late for the contest, so I just went and just
So
whatever.
you and Josh both did a very similar line at first?
Yeah.
Now
we're
there's a
trying-
shifty.
Yeah, this is Phil. You'll notice how really smooth he is.
Wow, and he
Yeah.
got lots of air on the second one too.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sure
really
that
nice.
scored him a lot of points there.
Yeah. Yeah, let's say that was a really nice backside 180. He kind of, it was a late backside 180 actually. Kind of tweaked it out there for a sec.
What's the record number of spins somebody has done in the air, Shaun?
Usually after about 1040, it gets kind of dumb looking. So people usually do about a 1040.
Which is degrees. My math's not so good. Is that spinning around 3 times in the air?
Yeah, about 3 times.
That's amazing.
Yeah, after the first 2, after you actually get a good spin, it's all amount of air you have.
Now I recognize that maneuver that fellow just did, and that is definitely an old classical maneuver.
Yeah. This is Jakob Jamen here. Nope, sorry, my mistake.
Okay, anyway, I'm going to read you the results of the men's division for over 16. We had Greg Todds with 53 points at third, Dan Gray with 54 points at second, so that was pretty close. We ended up with a tie for first place in a very exciting contest. We had our 2 hot local riders, Josh Nelson and Phil Robinson, and they both had 55 points. Congratulations, guys. It's a great contest. Our next contest will be the 7th annual Whitewater Snowboard Cup. February 12th, Saturday, there'll be a dual slalom snowboard race. February 13th, the Sunday, there'll be a half pipe, which is another type of freestyle. You'll see the same kind of radical air maneuvers. These contests will be sanctioned by the BC Snowboard Association, which means that they'll be part of a series throughout the whole province. So we should see a lot of people from out of town come in as well. So it should be a big contest, exciting contest, and it will be televised on Channel 10. Thank you for watching Whitewater's first Jib Bonk Snowboard Contest. This is Rex Eastman and
Shaun Tilling.
happy snowboarding.